The thing I liked about tonight's game was that we had multiple players have opportunity to step on the floor, and it was a concern of mine for a lot of different reasons. I wasn't sure. My staff can tell you I was really, really nervous about this game. I truly was, because Jason does a great job. Coach Burton does a great job with his kids. They play so hard. And I knew they were going to lay everything out there on the floor, even though they just got done playing a game at St. Ed's. I knew they were going to lay everything out there on the floor, and that's what we saw, especially in the first half. They push so hard in transition. They do a great job when they do push in transition of scoring. They hit some unexpected threes, to be honest with you. They only averaged a little over 4 a game. They hit 5 in the first half, so that was one of the challenges at halftime. We held them to 0. I think they only had a few attempts. Yeah, they were 0 for 6, so I was really proud of that effort. We didn't have to do anything out of the ordinary defensively. We just need to do a better job of containing, whether it be guarding our person on the perimeter or doing a better job inside in the paint. And so that's what we did. So we didn't have to throw out any press, no traps, nothing where we had to tweak a little more than what we felt was enough to win the game. And then we were able to get those stops and come down in trans to be able to score. Different players had looks, which I think is really fun. And that's what I appreciate about tonight. We had the opportunity to run different looks out there offensively and defensively and see how they were able to work together. I really found that they responded well. We even started with the same group when we came back in the second half, and I thought that was going to be important too, to see how they were able to adjust versus, jerking a kid out just to see if she responds that way. We just kept her in and see, can you step it up for us? And how exciting was that?
Did you kind of think that fatigue played a factor in their kind of struggles in the second half?
For sure. Understanding that, we never mentioned to our team they just came off of a game last night. Sometimes I think players have a tendency to believe that it might be a little bit easier than, in the mindset, never needed to be that, we need to go to work, because I clearly understand how hard these kids play. Mm-hmm. And so, much like I'm just joking, it's nothing like the Golden State and what happened with the Celtics. But I do think, in all honesty, all jokes aside, anytime you have to go back-to-back with games and travel them in the road, that is tough. And so the fatigue factor did set in. And so that we kept pushing ahead was really important in staying consistent, because if we gave them any light whatsoever, they're going to find that second win, because that is a culture of the team that he's created.
Is this ideally how you want your team to play that second half? Because it was defense, they were closing out, and then like when you guys got on offense, spreading the floor, mm-hmm. everybody hitting threes. Is this how you kind of envision this squad this year playing?
For sure. And honestly, we're geared towards finding players that want to play hard. When anytime you're trying to have an identity of your team and who you are for every year, you try to key in on different things. And due to injury and due to just mishap here and there, I think this team's been trying, and we've been trying to help ourselves develop the identity. Defense was always going to be a part of that identity, knowing that quite a few of these young women can shoot the 3 ball. I mean, right now, I don't know where we are. I know for sure we're ranked probably nationally up there with a 3 ball. That's not surprising. We were last year as well. We're obviously top. Tosh, I want to say, is maybe second in conference play right now. I mean, hell, we had Taylor Deere. Last year we had Taylor Deere, who finished at the top as well. So we have kids that can shoot the 3. Honestly, Ish, I'm more concerned about our defense right now. Our ability to be able to get stops, get those defensive rebounds, which are really tough for us, not allowing those second chance opportunities, and then pushing in trans and just letting the kids understand shot selection. And if anybody got better tonight, it's Erica May with shot selection. Awesome. I think Erica's fully bought in now. She knows where she's going to get her shots from. She had a couple mishaps here or there with turnovers when she got a little bit fancy. But if Erica can give us that type of production where she's scoring 10 to 12 points and grabbing 8 to 10 rebounds a night, playing within the system, we're going to be really good, because that's something that we have missing inside. Now, add in Tiara Pitts, who had the opportunity to play more minutes coming off an ACL, get her comfort level in. I think that helps out quite a bit. I'm excited because we know we have guards out there who can make plays off the bounce, as well as who can put the ball in the hole from beyond the arc. And so I truly am not as worried. They'll tell you a lot about spacing and shot selection and working on that, but we spend so much more time on defense, getting better defensively.
Kaitlin, career high today, 23, sorry. But how did it feel out there? I think 8 3-point attempts is also your career high. How did it feel when the first couple went down and you just kind of kept rolling from there?
Honestly, I didn't even know I shot that many. Just kind of, like she said, I really like the flow of offense on this team. We just we're starting to find our identity, starting to find like who to hit who, and just gelling well together. And I think tonight it's just, there's so many scorers on this team. Tonight was just my night. It just happened to be the ball just happened to rotate my way. My defender was off me. So, that's the cool thing about our team is anyone, like Taylor last game had 30 or something. I don't know how much he had, but anyone can, on any given night, can put up 20. So that's really cool, and it was cool that I was able to knock him down for my team tonight.
Coach, you mentioned earlier how Commerce is very well coached and everything, but including aside from that, they just got done with finals. This is the first game over Christmas break. Did you kind of feel that was going to be a factor of why this would be a tough game?
I felt it was going to be a positive factor for us, to be honest with you. The stress of finals for any student is more than enough. And the stress for student athletes is even greater because you got your coaches getting after you the whole time. And then you have your, depending how you did in the class, you have professors getting after you as well, or you need to really finish strong. So I knew, and luckily we only had 3 that had finals on Friday. The second was over. It's just like a ton of bricks just off your chest. You can just completely focus on basketball and sleep in. And I clearly remember how much fun that was as a student athlete. You can come in and get extra shots up. It's just not as stressful. And so I honestly, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting. Yeah.
That's part of it.
Tosh, you had a good night as well, 10 points, one of 3 of your teammates that had double digits. But talk about the production of Tiara, Erica, both having career nights, scoring was. Kaitlin, kind of talk about how it feels now that you're getting more minutes and just the overall production of your team and how it feels out there.
Like you said about Erica and T, I just feel like they're, like Coach said, becoming more with the offense, flowing more, not taking just shots, taking shots within a good time. And T is, I think T is starting to feel a lot more comfortable, doing post moves, getting back to the basket, and I think that is helping our team a lot whenever them two are doing better within the offense.
Okay, so the same question for you now that because technically it's your 3rd year on the floor, but as a sophomore, seeing a lot more minutes. I mean, what's it like to have all of that surrounding you and being it, like you said, anybody at any point can put up points on the board?
I mean, of course it's fun to be on a team like that. When you start gelling with a team and things just start going down, and anyone you hit, it's just I feel like every time I throw it to Tasha, she knocks it down. I'm like, yes, good job, Tosh. She's money, but it's just really fun. There's no other word for it. It's fun when you're on a team like that, when it's just you can work together and no one really cares who gets the shots, and I can honestly say that. So it's just really fun out there, and I think we're starting to get into our stride. Good timing too, because conference is about to come up.
Tasha, every game it seems like you're growing a little more as a player. You're getting more confidence in your shot. From the first game to this game, it's still early in the season, but where do you think you've grown the most?
Well, defense, I think I've gotten a little better on defense, but I still need to improve a lot. But I feel like on offense, the first couple games, I wasn't comfortable. I didn't, because it's my first year with the team, so I didn't feel like I knew the offense as well or the players. But now I feel like it comes easier for me to go off the ball screen the right way, cut the right way, and I know my teammates better now, so I know what they're gonna do. So, yeah.
All right, Coach. So you through non-conference, you're 4-0 at home. With that being said, that means you've lost all 4 of your non-home games, I guess, because of the 3 in the tournament. But your conference starts off with home games. So how does that mean to win all of your home games in non-conference heading into the conference schedule where it starts off with 2 home games?
Honestly, Paul, I haven't thought that deep about it. The only thing I've thought is I'm very thankful that we get to start at home, because since I've been here at Texas State, going to my 5th year, our program has always gone on the road. I feel like we've always gone on the road to start conference play, and it's tough for student athletes, to be honest. You're just getting off Christmas break. You go through a couple days of two-a-days. Next thing you know, boom, you're on a flight, you're heading out, you're in conference play. And every time it's a new team, when you do that, it's when you put a new team on the road in conference play, understanding it's a whole nother level, you're zeroed out, it can be difficult. So there's a very welcoming and comforting feeling. I mean, Kate will tell you, we always go 2 days on the 26th. We're not this year. We have 1 practice on the 26th. And that's it. Yeah. We're practicing a little bit later. Yeah. We're going 2 days on that Sunday, though. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm not joking. We actually are. But but the nice thing is on the 26th is just we can breathe a little bit because we don't have that travel day. And so outside of that, that's all I've thought is this. I'm just welcoming the fact that men and women are going to be at home to start out conference play.
And how important is it to finish off the non-conference schedule on a high note heading into conference schedule?
I told someone this just recently before I stepped in here. I am chomping at the bit to play Houston Baptist. I have not looked beyond that right now, but we lost there in a close game. did not do what we needed to do to get done. Very disappointing. Then here it was a close game. I remember I was joking but not joking. It was close, and it got so fired up that the coach took off her shoes, if you remember, and she was coaching without shoes on. I looked down at one point. I was like, well, I can't say anything because we're not doing very well. But we've got to do a better job against Houston Baptist. We've had struggles. That's a team, we owe them one at this point. And I know Kate feels, and I know a lot of the returners are going to feel it. When we go in there into Houston, there's going to be a focus, and we're going to continue what we've gathered from this game and take it again to another level and continue to get better. As much as I like to tell our team, teams are getting better, they're getting better, there are a lot of areas where we're getting better as well. And so my focus is to figure out what it is that Houston Baptist does well, figure out what we do well, and exploit those and be able to continue to get better.
I remember last year you described Taylor when she was coming on as the player that really didn't have that much tape, and so she would kind of sneak up on a lot of teams. This year, obviously, she has a lot more to her. How does it feel to have another guard potentially in that same mold about a game where the coaches isn't exactly zoned in on her, and they're like all of a sudden she can put up 10 points if they need to?
Feels really good because even when you scout as a coach, you can tell your team till you're blue in the face, but they don't really understand that till you actually step in the game and the coach is yelling, and I told you she has the ability to score. So I think that's really nice. It goes back to what Tasha said. Even though she's a freshman, it also goes to what Kate says. They're starting to gel. They're starting to understand who they are, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, how to play to their strengths, how to communicate with each other, how to pick each other up. And as that chemistry keeps, building, as we head into conference play, I think we're going to find out that we have a lot of young women here that are going to be able to pick each other up at different times. But I think anytime you have weapons in your arsenal that nobody knows about, that's fun.
What are in your perspective, the strengths, and what do you think that you guys can continue to build on, and what can you work on to get better?
I'll start with what we need to work on. Defensively, we have to get better in our rotations. Defensively, by far, we have to get better with our initial containment. If we can do just a better job with everything that we focused on regarding containing the ball, we'll have the help that needs to be there. And then those times that it falters, just that second rotation, not the initial rotation, that second rotation of being able to get there and then box out. Rebounding is always going to be a bit of our Achilles heel just by the nature of the way our team looks this year. But again, after watching film, I talked to them a lot about a lot of it has to do with technique. It isn't as much as over the backs. If you take out those Power 5 schools that we played, those aren't over the backs. Those are just want to. And so that has to get better for us. Where we are awesome right now is transition offense. We're a very good team transition that needs to continue. They're getting so much better with shot selection. I'm really, really proud of that. This team understanding shot selection and buying into that role, it's been important for us. We need to continue offensively to understand this. As teams scout us, though, they're going to start cutting off certain things. And so our ability to be able to not play tight and start jacking up shots or turning over the ball is going to be important. And us being able to show them where that's going to come from and how that happens is going to be important as we continue to move forward.